Well, hey there, Dom Salvucci. How we doing, sir?
Oh, Eric, how are you, Mr. Verno?
Hey, I'm doing well, indeed, indeed. Looks like you got some light reading going on there.
Oh, yes, it's towards my Goodreads goal for this year. Christmas present, except some bad dad jokes, so frightfully awful yet wonderfully spiffing. Why do chicken coops only have two doors?
Oh, why would that be?
Because if they had four, woo, symbol of excellence, they would be chicken sedans. But
Oh man, that's good stuff. I like that.
I
All right.
get to like read these to my students. They're gonna
I'm
be so
sure.
happy.
I'm sure they love it. So that was a gift under the tree, I believe.
Yes.
All right, very nice.
How
Okay,
was your
you're
holiday?
yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I got my daughter, she's attending Bloom, and that's where I'm alumni. So got a nice new sweatshirt, Husky sweatshirt here, and
Nice.
Not Yukon or Washington, but Bloomsburg University. Yeah, and coffee grinder. So I got my the old winning Pete and C mug, enjoying a little espresso here this evening.
Yeah, I was gonna have some tea, but I burned the roof of my mouth eating some pizza tonight, and going to cold drinks. I'm having my good friend
Ah, okay,
Taylor help
yeah, all right,
the
okay,
healing of Tay Tay.
yeah, to help you shake it off, shake
Yes,
off that burn. Okay, I like that. Good stuff. Yeah. What about school? Are you guys back in session?
we started back today, and
Okay.
kind of eased in. Is my greeter duty there on bus duty was welcoming everyone back. Happy New Year, welcome back after break, and got a lot of Happy New Year. Just
Mm,
trying to wake up everyone, get back into school hours.
yeah.
That was I think was the biggest adjustment.
Yeah. My big thing, every so often I could be, quite clever. But today's line was they're either tired or wired. Like there was no in between. They were either, falling asleep at the table. Got a couple kids like, felt bad having to like say their names very loudly to wake them up. Or other kids you were like just tying their ankles down because they were just all over the place. So yeah, definitely interesting. It's always tough to have that conversation about how the break was, things like that. I've been using Microsoft's Reflect a good bit in my classrooms when they in math when they first start out, and it's usually how are you feeling today, and
Uh-huh.
um, Reflect has the feeling monsters you put up on the screen. So today was how was your break, and it's interesting, um, and the kids just they like seeing the little monsters up on the screen. I can look later and see who put in what, but for the most part, keep it in that anonymous aspect, and but it's kind of an interesting read on how they're doing, how they're feeling, and how their break was, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, so it's interesting. My daughters had enjoyed one more day of sleeping in. Their school they start tomorrow, so tomorrow will be a little bit more of the activity and grumpiness in the Verno household. So I will see how that rolls. But yeah, so
Yeah.
but not too shabby. So yeah, break was good. And how about New Year's? You have a good New Year's?
Low key, my wife wasn't feeling well. We were gonna watch football because it was a big
Mhm.
football weekend. Although as we were talking earlier, a lot of the games, not much. Verno made graphics today.
Yeah, no Dolphins graphics today. Not whatsoever. Yep, yep. All
Um,
right, moving on.
but repping Steelers.
Got the Steelers. All right, yeah, yeah.
2 weeks in a row. Good. Pens are in a 4 game streak. So Pittsburgh sports are having at least a brief resurgence. We'll take that and
Yeah.
watch the game. So we ended up with my wife not feeling well. We were just gonna go low key, hang out with neighbors, and I texted them like, we're down, and we just kind of watched movies. And about midnight, I was telling you earlier, I was napping during commercial. We watched broadcast television so I could take breaks, nap during the commercials, and
Yep.
next morning
Yep.
the text chain from my friends, we're all up there in our late 50s, and it was like, who made it past 11? I'm like, I did, but I cheated. I was
Yeah.
napping
That's funny.
throughout, and everyone else is like, I made it to 11:40. Other people, midnight. Other
That's funny.
people, one or two were like, oh, I stayed up real late. I'm like, not when you got to start back to school on the second. That's sleeping in late on the first.
Yeah.
Then you can't get to
Yeah.
bed, and it's that chain reaction for the week.
Yeah. Yeah. And you hear we were like bouncing between, Dick Clark's, New Year's Eve, and then bouncing in Nashville had one and checking,
Yeah,
but there was a whole like I guess like a whole controversy, like it was taped because they mentioned they were trying to simulcast live, over 100 locations or whatever. And I guess there was a whole controversy because there was a tape delay in the drop. So like when we saw there was a minute left, all of our clocks clicked over. We're like, what's going on? That the team there's still a minute. So anyway, we lived a minute in the past. That's all. We were holding on to 2023 a minute longer than everybody else. That's all.
It's that time adjustment,
Yeah. But hey, all good with that, and just rolling into the new year. But yeah, it's tough staying up and doing the whole deal, and then getting back into that flow, in the morning flow, things of that nature. We do Christmas Day always at our place. Went to my parents, then a week later went to the in-laws. My daughter's called cousin Christmas, and saw everybody there. And actually, here's a funny story for you. We, my family had a tradition. There was this, I don't know, my dad sometime got these cans of Dinny Moore beef stew, and this batch was just a really bad batch. Like he opened a can and it just tasted like dog food. And I've had good Dinny Moore, and just this was bad. So he had 2 cans that he bought that were together. So it became a passing it around tradition till the can disappeared. I forget what happened to it, but so on my wife's side of the family, my father-in-law is very well known for what he likes to refer to as care packages. Pretty much, I'm trying to offload random things onto unsuspecting people is really the definition of this. And it must be a Bostonian thing. And so I received this care package one time. It's this great big old can, like this much around, like, like a paint can of peanuts. And I'm like, oh, like that looks good. There was like 10 peanuts left in the thing. Had to have been over 1,000 when it began. He just laughs. He's like, oh yeah, all the cashews were gone. I'm like, no, it was all gone. Like there was like 10 pieces. But in this batch, of course, I'm in my mid-20s at the time. He's giving me old double ARP magazines. He's like, oh yeah, you never know when you're gonna need it. I'm like, I don't need this anyway. So, but in that batch was a fruitcake, and it used to be behind me, but the fruitcake is gone. So every year, it's who gets it, and I like to be just a little bit more creative than the next. So, enlisted the help of ChatGPT, had it help create a story where Santa and the sleigh went missing, and 5 adventurers, because it was 6 total, but 5 adventurers were going to try to free Santa and his sleigh. So ChatGPT helped me write a story, come up with names, come up with different challenges. We went to Dollar Tree, and the rule was everything I got had to be from Dollar Tree. So like the candy cane sword that the one character had was just big flopsy candy cane. The bow and arrow were those Nerf things. I flick them across my classroom, the one person had the power of some kind of warmth. So it was like an oven mitt that he wore. And I mean, just getting different things. So it was quite comical, the rollout, and then let my daughter edit it to make sure everything was good, change up names as needed. And then my youngest was like, Dad, I don't think the fruit cake. So they when their name was called, I did a spinner, made the thing in Canva, a roulette wheel that we spun and did all this. And when their name was called, they had to come forward, and I had a box with bags in it of random stuff. I literally said, okay, we need 5 items for our heroes. What do they got at Dollar Tree? And they're just grabbing just random garbage. And, Pegasus, like, it's funny. The one guy was a blacksmith, and he's supposed to have like a Thor hammer. And we got like that hand clapper thing where you go. Yeah. Anyway, so when their names were called, they went up, and her idea was like, let's not give them the fruitcake right away. Let's hold off on that. So like they were expecting to get the fruitcake in one of those, and all 5 went. And then we had the women judge and vote on who should get the fruitcake. But basically it turned into who didn't want the fruitcake the most, like didn't get it. So it was a big battle. But then the fruitcake was bestowed upon everybody. And yeah, so that was the end of our holiday time, and nice. Back to reality, and back rolling at school. So yeah, like I said, they're either tired or wired, and there's just something about short weeks. Weeks seem to go, feels like a 2-week, not a 4-day week. So you guys are back today. Most schools in our area are all back, and and rolling. I mean, pretty soon we're staring down the pipe. We talked about it last night. Yeah, Missy. Talked about it last night about we got January rolling through, Pete and C coming up, kicking over the new calendar year for PAECT and everything we got going on. So a lot of wild stuff going on there. And we talked about some Pete and C stuff last week or 2 weeks ago. We're gonna touch upon a little bit now, but Pete and C talk, really our next pod, we're hoping to have some different guests on to kind of talk more about it. But we hotel the Hershey Lodge and Hotel Hershey booked out. They're getting different hotels all in the area. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be big. Yeah, it's gonna be big. So a lot of good stuff. We got our meet and greet rolling, and we're talking about our booth giveaways, our prizes. So
a lot of prizes. We have the coffee meetups every morning at the booth. So there's a lot going on at Pete.
Yeah, the PACT store is open currently, right? For people to buy.
Today's the last day. Today's the last day.
All right, so PACT.org. But all right, well, we're talking about a lot of PACT stuff. We're doing a lot. I believe it's a Tuesday, isn't it? It feels like a Monday, but it's a Tuesday.
It feels like a Monday, but it's the first Tuesday of the month.
In fact, it's even the first Tuesday. So I think it's time for
the PACT pod.
All right, brother, let's roll it. All right, welcome to the PACT pod, a show for educators by educators. PACT is 100% volunteer-run organization that focuses on educational technology use in the classroom in Pennsylvania and beyond. My name is Eric Verno. I am honored to be the vice president of PACT for 2 more months. And with me, my co-host as always,
Dom Salvucci. I'm the Southwest Regional Director for PAECT.
Yeah, and we're always excited to be here. Even letting Dom roll in some old landline technology there during our intro. All right, good stuff. 2 weeks ago, we did a little bit more about Pete and C, talk about some summits. This week we're going to kind of talk a little bit less about that, but but still that's a huge part of our organization and what we believe, and it's a great time for educators to come together. And there's so much going on, so much in the world of ed tech.
It's, we have that. That's going to be Sunday we start with KTI pre-conference. Then we roll into, we'll have the booth set up that day, but it doesn't officially start till Monday morning. And our presentation will be on Tuesday. And there'll be a lot of PACT members presenting, a lot of other people presenting throughout the day. Monday night, we have the meet and greet. That rolls into the vendor sessions, the vendor hospitality sessions. And then Tuesday night is the Pete dinner. Mm-hmm. And then Wednesday, we have keynotes every day. And the Wednesday keynote will be at the end during the luncheon, I believe. That's usually how it goes.
Yep.
So it's going to be an action-packed, not one. My camera's off. Not 2, because I'm sucked in closer than usual. Not 3, but 4 action-packed days of
very nice. Yeah,
got to do my 4 horsemen homage.
Yeah, that's funny when you say that. We have a thing at our church with girl dads. You got 3-star generals, 4-star generals. When you made the homage of the 4, yeah, it made me think of that. But yeah, 4 action-packed days, and I think we're gonna possibly look at pulling in our lead meet and greet individual. I can't even think of who it is right now. That's going to be doing the KTI. I'm sorry, not the meet and greet, the KTI pre-con. I'm talking about that. I do believe you can come to pre-con even if you're not going to Pete and C. So, but yeah, that happens on that Sunday morning, and things kind of kick off, and then it rolls from there. So it's things make sure. Different people are taken care of as far as all those tickets that we held back, but we will have some. So if you go on there currently and see that it's sold out, that's okay. We can accommodate more. Just come and check us out at the booth. I believe we're going to be in our normal spot when you first come in, where the registration is in the Hershey Lodge. We'll be there, and again, giveaways, all that jazz. We'll be putting it out on socials. what we're going to have, but it's always an exciting time. And, you know, I just want to try to figure out like what's going to be the cool giveaway. I mean, I loved going up against the other P groups last year, and throwing down. So we are just, when people come up to our booth, I love the conversation, the excitement.
Oh.
It's like a family reunion. And, you know, even if I don't remember your name, I'm still going to talk to you. You know, I got faces, not always names, but, and we just, you know, internally PACT just made it a challenge that we were going to give out the most coffee mugs, the fastest. And we did. We literally had skid loaders coming down, giving us mugs from other tables in their groups because people were coming to see us and there was a lot of activity there. So it was a fun time. So whatever the giveaway is, I don't know how they're going to be giving them out, but I'm hoping to try to leak that information on the pod here. Not going to lie. I'd love to have the exclusive on that. So
As soon as
we'll
we
see
have
what we
the
can do.
information,
See what we can do. We'll work on that one.
I'm sure one of us can get away with accidentally releasing it before it was supposed to be released.
Yeah, well, I have to first know what it is before I can accidentally release it. Let's just be honest. We got to get on that inner sanctum. All right. Well, let's go over some things that are happening, you know, this month, you know, let's see, this month in PACT. So I'm going to pull up the old calendar here. I'm going to kick us here on the sides. Let's see. Let me blow this up. Make sure we can see it nicely on the screen. All right. The month of January, 2024. You know, we got our book studies kind of, I believe it's kicking off just on the 10th is the first, right? The classroom, 43 people registered. It's exciting. I actually have to get my butt in gear and get in there. And then I guess we have to order the books ahead of time. Do you know about that, Dom?
Yes. In fact, I think I have the book. I think that is the book I already have because I went through and I was looking and that popped up on my Kindle, but I have to double check. And the nice thing about this is sign up. It's free. If you can make it, you make it. If you don't want to necessarily be front and center, you can, what they call back in the old days, the lurkers, and pick up information. That'll be there. These are fantastic. I've participated in a number of book studies with PACT. You do get Act 48 credit, and there's a lot of good information, a lot of good discussion. It's not, it is a discussion. It's not like a class. It's more an interaction between people. So,
yeah. And basically that's going to be every Wednesday night here through January. So, and what I like too is it kind of how Don was saying it, everything's kind of spelled out. Jen Tony does an amazing job. So you kind of have your idea, lay out your game plan for what you need to read and, you know, kind of look at that. So awesome stuff there going on. So I love it. And then, so we roll into the week of the 15th. We got PACT post Tretsy meetup. I believe that's going to be happening somewhere near you, Don. Why don't you talk a little about that?
Monday the 15th, we will be at Tretsy. If it's a Three Rivers Educational Technology Conference, if you're going, PACT will have a table. The pre-conference event is Sunday evening in Pittsburgh. And then the event is in South Fayette, which is right off of I-79. Easy to get to from all around the state. Either the Turnpike or 80 across, then take I-79 south, and you're there. We'll have afterwards, we have a post-Tretsy meetup, which starts at about 3:30 or so. Tretsy is going to hold school hours. They're done around 3, a little bit after, at Top Golf there in South Fayette. It's about a 10-minute drive. So once we pack up, we'll be at Top Golf. We'll have appetizers on PACT and hang out and kind of decompress from the conference. It's a great conference. It's a small regional conference. It's big enough to have a lot of information, but it's small enough to have a cozy feeling to it. And we're one of the sponsors, I guess you would want to call it. We help out with the conference. A lot of PACT members and KTIs present. A lot of people are members are on the board that help organize that. It's a great event. We have those 2 events coming up, the actual conference and then the post-conference. And then later that week, we have an event at Flex Space in Pittsburgh. And I'm sure that will be popping up next.
Yep. I got Mr. Jim Bigley checking out on YouTube. Looks like he's watching us.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. So, yes, the next one, So we have our teachers first. We're going to talk a little bit about them a little bit later in the show, but we've partnered with them to offer several different activities that we offer Act 48 hours with. So professional development, save time, enhance learning, and maximize resources with teachers first. So their OK to Ask series is continuing on. So a lot of great stuff, and always aligned to the ISTE standards, which is one of the reasons why we truly look forward to partnering with them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you talked about the PACT meetup at Flux Space.
Yes. Space is limited, so please register ahead of time. We may not be able to take people at the door because their space is limited on how many people they can have involved, and there's also limited parking. So, excuse me.
Yep. And then down here it says contact Aaron Whitaker if any accessibility needs
Yes.
or questions. But definitely. So right now it's open game. Not even Dom registered. So fill that out so Dom can show up. That's the goal. All right, people?
I am registered
right,
for that.
I don't know. It didn't show up there.
I don't know.
Maybe I took you off. I don't know.
You
All right.
might have
So
bumped me out.
you never know. All right. We got, Google My Maps Basics, again, with Teachers First, the book study, and then rolling into Engage and Inspire with Fake Websites with Teachers First. And then 1 p.m. on the February 4th, Pete and C KTI Precon. See if we got any information in here. Oh, they're keeping it a secret. Oh, there we go. KTI presents the AI Odyssey, charting a course for the stars. All right, 1 to 3 p.m. Again, just pop in. So that sounds pretty cool. That looks like Dom back in the day right there. I've seen some old pictures of Dom. That hair, that's your style.
I had the big hair.
He did. He rolled with it. Rocked it. All right, so that's January. Let's check out the Glide Show. All right, see if anything's added in here. The Treatsy. Oh, Library Goose Chase South Central. So South Central does not have this updated on the calendar, but they're going to be doing a Library Goose Chase. So that's going to be exciting. So if you have any information, sue.allen@pact.org. You can email her directly or just look for it on socials at all caps SCPACT.
Speaking of Goose Chase.
On Twitter X. Yes, sir.
Speaking of Goose Chase, there will be some goose chasing going on at Pete, and it's going to be different this year. We talked about it, regional directors. It is not going to be one long, big goose chase. You can't tell because I'm talking with my hands, but I'm on a narrow screen. So I'm beyond the screen here. I'm knocking lights over.
The anti-Italian video
yes.
right there.
I'm having a hard time. I don't know if I'm communicating well because I can't see my hands while I'm talking on screen. But we're doing day-to-day goose chases. That way, because there are people that can't attend the entire time. That way, this puts them in the mix for getting prizes while they're at the day they are at Pete. So we're going to have daily goose chases. Check out the PACT booth for details. And that's open to anybody who is attending Pete and C. In this way, like I said, if you can only make it, because not everyone can go all the days. We understand that. So this year we're making it so as long as you're there, even like one day, you stand a chance. If you want to compete, you can try and get in on the prizes.
Awesome.
And we do have drawings again this year at the meet and greet. Each region is putting in a gift basket for attendees. There's a little quest for you to complete at the meet and greet. We only have an hour and a half this year. And then there's a half-hour downtime between the end of our meet and greet and the vendor hospitality sessions.
Okay.
So it's a little bit shorter this year. We have a lot going on at the meet and greet. There's be the PACT meeting. I know you have stuff going on. Ben has some things.
Yep.
So it's to be a good time.
Yeah, a lot of activities, a lot of stuff rolling, and yeah, and then that's the official where I roll over from VP over to president, and there's been one thing I'm really working on just kind of behind the scenes is, we put out a call for participation as we do whenever any new president's going to be stepping in, whether you're keeping former or just seeing who's interested. And wow, I've gotten an amazing problem. Over 40 people, replying, saying they're interested in being more engaged in PACT. And that's what it's all about. Like, it's kind of like I love that rule of ed camps. The smartest person in the room is the room. And we say it all the time. I know, Dom and I both say it. PACT is amazing because our members are amazing, and that's what makes it like we're just two people here that stepped up to kind of, do the pod. We're not the be all end all.
No.
We're constantly learning for so many people, that's way, way, way back, many moons ago, many more moons than I'd like to admit. Getting into education, somebody said, why? And I said, I feel like it's a field where it's really tough to become a dinosaur. If you are actively searching, there's always something new to learn, getting stuck in a rut, this and that. Like, you don't have to. There's just so many things going on. Your curriculum's your curriculum, but how you do it can be fresh and different. So PACT, same thing. Like, there's just so much to learn. So love that aspect of it. So, but yeah, so at Pete and C, it's, there's a lot going on. We got the meet and greet, possible things afterwards, as far as just, getting together, meeting up, at the suite, usually post meet and greet time. So a lot of awesome stuff coming. So very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So our PAECT roundup. So, I think need to do a little special message to our premium members. What do you think?
I think that would work.
All right. So we got a little Otis information for our premium PACT members.
PACT premium members. Are you looking for some quality professional development? PACT has just what you're looking for. Through Otis for Educators, we offer a variety of professional development activities to suit your needs. Live, synchronous professional development offerings, asynchronous classes for you to progress through at your own pace. Some of the activities qualify for Act 48 credits, some for micro-credentialing, others give you certificates. Many are ISTE-aligned sessions, and we have much, much more. Premium members, you have access to Otis for Educators with your membership. Not a premium member yet? Not a problem. Check out PAECT.org to see how to upgrade your membership and take advantage of these great offerings.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, Otis, great, partner, collaborator, and I definitely feel like it's something that at times I don't think of it right away. So, but I definitely think it's like the best kept secret right now. PACT, we got to do a better job of letting people know.
And the nice thing about that is, with that, you don't have to do anything. Once you log in, you're good to go. You put your PPID number in when you register. So when you log in, it's all automatic. You don't have to report anything. I've done some Act 48 courses, 45 minutes to an hour. I've done some just minor, like they have, we use Schoology as our LMS. Mm-hmm. So they have like little mini 5-minute lessons on like fresh tricks and tips with Schoology or other platforms. So you can go in and you don't get a certificate for it, but it's a nice little refresher. Like, oh, I didn't know I could do this. And it's nice. So you have the micro credentialing. They have some higher end things you can do, some deeper dives. And then they have like the regular Act 48 credits and the certificates. It's pretty slick. Once you complete it, hit a button, you could download it so you have record of it. It stays in your file, but they take everything on the back end and submit the hours to Act 48. So
very good. Yeah. And yeah, talk about just quick and easy and the way you kind of roll and have it supported. So yeah. And then the little tip there, if you haven't been told, create a contact on your phone, PPID. And that way you can pull it up and you always have that number available when needed. But the nice thing with Otis, once you put it in once, they've got it. You don't have to worry about, coming up with it every time. All right. I think we're at that time to really kick in a little bit of tech notes. What do you think?
I think that works.
You ready? You ready to lead it off this time?
Yes, I can. Let me jump in once we hit the button.
Here we go. All right. All right, man. What do you got?
Okay, I am going to go to what I've been picked on before. Magic School AI.
There. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, I'm going to fold my arms right now. Go.
Magic School AI. It is free through the middle of the month. As of January 16th, the Plus is going to be a fee for the Plus, which I haven't played. I've been playing with the Plus under the free level for now, and I'm saving stuff and building things out. I'm going to take a look at what the difference is between the free and the Plus version is going to be. So if we click on free, oops, I have to go back to the right screen. That would help. So you have Magic School Enterprise, Magic School Free, and it's not letting me. If I hit Magic School Plus, you get 13 days free. We're not going to put that information in. I'm trying to find the comparison, and that's what I didn't look up. Oh, there it is down here. That would help.
Mm-hmm.
So features, free has the AI tools, educational chatbot, Chrome extension. It's limited as to what you can save. And then you don't get early exclusivity, integration with Google, customization. But you do under the Plus, with the exception of customization or feature requests, and then Enterprise is for the districts. Special pricing. But they do have the special pricing for the early bird, $79.80. I'm definitely going to take a look at it and see what I could do through my school. It does have a lot of tools. I've been playing with it. And like I said, there's a lot of debate with AI. I know at Tretzy and I know at Pete and C, there's a lot of conversations about AI. We've been talking a lot about it here on the pod. And a lot of the people that we follow and in our network have discussed AI. Same with the book study coming up. But as a digital assistant, like today, we didn't have Votech. CTC was canceled. A lot of kids couldn't go home, so they were stuck in school. So I had some students. I'm like, hey, for enrichment, here's what if you're up for it, can you do this task for me? Can you do this task for me? And they're typing stuff up, and I'm showing them how to make things, and they're helping out. Magic School and some of these other tools, if there isn't a student available to help you work on something, that's what I use the AI for, is pulling some ideas in, taking what they have or taking what I have, and they update it a little bit, put some pizzazz into it, or I take what they give me as a background and I build off of it. It's kind of like a grad assistant, if you will, the way I use it. And, it's definitely something to think about, but all the bonus stuff is going to be going away here in 13 days, 14 days.
Yeah. All right.
So check it out.
Okay.
See if it's something you're interested in. Let me go back to where I need to be, and I'm going to pull this down, and we're back up widescreen. I can see my hands when I talk. I'm comfortable.
Oh, look at that guy. Oh,
it
man.
Threw me off the first part of the podcast, man.
Oh, there.
Oh.
You lost your hands. Now they're back. All right, here we go. Let's kick into the next round of Tech Notes. All right, here we go. We got a new one for you. Let me switch out my banner here. So this is a blog that I've been following for a while, educatorstechnology.com. So educatorstechnology.com, when you check it out, home, talk about pedagogy, education, AI, edtech tools, edtech apps, teacher resources, special education, edtech for kids, buying guides for teachers. So, a lot of good stuff. You can easily tell they are definitely on. They're definitely on the AI bandwagon when it comes to making images. A lot of these, you can tell these are kind of AI related. The 8 key digital literacy skills for teachers and educators, QR reader apps, 10 great time management tools, best image to text apps, just a lot of different things that they have rolling here. They even have done, let's see, education AI. There was a new one that I just saw. So Bard versus ChatGPT, voice control, just going into some different stuff. So a lot of the people, this was a good one here, the 20 best 20 best TED Talks on AI. And, obviously heavily advertised and stuff on the website. But kind of scrolling through, if you're looking for some different information, I've definitely found a lot of resources on this website for different things. I've already highlighted, I use Feedly. So, coming through the Feedly app, I get a lot of articles that they're posting and things of that nature. But they're always, they definitely have a lot of great information there for educators. So educatorstechnology.com, just a great source. Again, if we go into EdTech apps, just different learning apps that might be math problem solvers, language learners. So just a great repository, just of a lot of different apps that you may find useful. Now I'm going to give you a twofer because, this is on that education side, but then, I always talk to Dom about how teachers become weather geeks. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this site. I actually learned about it at one of our board meetings the one time up in State College. But just wanted to go over this with the educators watching. If you have not seen www.511pa.com, I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the pod before, or at least shown it. But this, with the looming weather coming this weekend, this is a great site that you could pull up. They have an app you can download giving you real-time information that's going on in your neck of the woods. Unfortunately, when I make it larger, it's just the map. It's not everything. Let's see.
You have live traffic cams
here.
I talked about this in my class podcast. It's one of the the websites and apps that I discuss at the end. I always give like tips.
Weather alerts. Yeah, the cameras. The features that you can pull up, and then what's really cool too is if you're about ready to head to work, you could turn on the PennDOT plow trucks, and it'll show you where they actively are across the state. So if you're like, oh, I got to head to X, Y, or Z location, you can kind of check out. So the blue icons are the cameras. Let me turn those off so it doesn't fill the area. Add the traffic cams up. There you go. And then PennDOT plow trucks, be able to see that. So it's great. I just used it the other week when we had, heard a report about cars being backed up, teachers running late. I was able to pull up, look at the traffic cam right up 83 and see how backed up it was. Took a screenshot, sent it to our principals. Then they were able to kind of email out, to all the teachers, hey, this is going on. Buses might be delayed. Teachers are delayed. If you can cover rooms, kind of a deal. So, but definitely a very timely and useful information. But again, being the weather geek and, all teachers enjoy a good snow and what it may bring. But we want to make sure that we are safe while it's happening.
Yeah. So, I believe you could call too from your phone.
Yeah, they have an app now that you could. Yep, there's a 511 PA.
There's the app, but I think
iOS and Android.
Yeah, I think you can call. If I'm not mistaken. Do you mean? I think there is you can do a star 511 or something like that on. I don't know if it's on the site, but I know because they'll have when you're driving on the turnpike, they'll have traffic conditions. There's you could dial in if you don't have access to a smartphone because they don't want you on your phone while you're driving. So you go hands-free. But yeah, this is a website that's fantastic. Because I know, I use Waze. The problem with Waze is it doesn't tell you when it's detouring you, why it's detouring you. With this app, you can see, there's a road closure, there's construction, there's, snow plows, the weather's bad. I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when the Steelers were in the playoffs and we lost. But it was Tretzy Precon. And I think it was, I want to say it's 2 years. And it wasn't snowing yet. The snow was supposed to come in from the south. I live north of Pittsburgh. And I'm like, do I go down to the Precon or do I stay home? And I hit the traffic cams and I was watching because the snow was coming from the south. And it just started snowing up here in Elwood. And the roads in Pittsburgh were covered. I'm like, okay, if I get down there, they might close the interstates because that's how much snow they were calling for. I'm like, do I really want to get a room? Have to take everything down that night. And, it was just, I ended up staying home. And the next day there was so much snow. I just attended virtually because, they didn't close the roads, but they strongly recommended you do not drive on the interstates to get into Pittsburgh. So,
I remember that. I think you had a session on Edmodo. I kind of stepped in to be in front of the group, and you kind of were over the computer.
Well, that wasn't Tretzy. That was.
I'm sorry. That was a Pete and C thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And too bad you didn't have it during that one board meeting where the big sheet of ice came down and hit your windshield. Remember
Oh, I
that?
know that was
Yeah.
bad.
But yeah, so yeah, definitely a great, useful. I agree. Waze is awesome. But the other thing is Waze is what's the word? It's social traffic. Like people
Yeah,
are around are parting, putting things down where plow trucks are going to be out when not a lot of cars are. So again, reading off of their GPS and their locations and stuff, and knowing if a road, if you're close to being plowed out or not, all that chat. So, as we roll, and again, watching all the YouTube videos, checking out AccuWeather, and looking all that, seeing what's rolling, and Saturday into Sunday, and what's going to happen, and especially for you guys, like more west, you got more of that lake effect
yeah,
that does occur, things of that nature. So, yeah, so I just figured I'd throw it in there. It's not education technology related, but it's technology related, to help a educator, just make sure you're safe on the
yeah.
roads.
Well, it's life technology.
That's it. That's it. And we, so it's kind of the end of our tech notes session, but I kind of wanted to highlight, Dom's been done a great job of making some different highlight videos. So, not a normal part of our tech notes, but partnering with Teachers First for Act 48 for teachers. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what they have.
PAECT is proud to partner with Teachers First to award Pennsylvania educators Act 48 hours for attending each live virtual workshop. For more information on live workshops, check out our calendar at paect.org.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, and check it out. The link's there. Get you over to their site and see what all they have going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing, check. We have the Glide Show. Check paect.org. We have a lot going on. We're working on updating the website, making sure it's user-friendly for everybody, trying to get a little more dynamic. But there's a lot that goes on. And like Eric said, sometimes these are our best-kept secrets, unfortunately. There's a lot of, and people always looking for Act 48. The Teachers First is for any level membership. The Otis is for premium members. But premium membership's $35. And I think Otis, if you were to try and buy it on your own, it's $99 or over $100. So, for way less, with the price of a premium membership, you have access to all this Act 48, and a lot of people, are always looking for Act 48. Plus, like the book study and the live events and other events, the virtual events we have going on, that count for Act 48. There's a lot of professional development. So, check out the website.
Yeah, very good. And again, it's that understanding of we are a 100% volunteer organization.
Yeah.
So it's teachers with full-time jobs, getting home in the evenings, working on updating things, trying to do the best we can with the tools we have, providing all of our awesome members.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Even like, so talk about the pod, we're streaming live, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter X, whatever you want to call it these days. And tonight was the first night we're streaming on, IG, Instagram Live. So, just trying to do the best we can being where you're at. We always encourage, reach out to us through the socials, email us at pod@paect.org if you have any ideas. Or if you even think, there's some things you want to share and be on the pod, we're not opposed to having different guests at different times. We try to reach out. But yeah, if you got an idea or something to share, send it to us and we'll check it out and kind of look at our calendar and see where it falls and fits in, and love to have more people on.
Yeah. And, with all of this going on, talked about a bunch of the websites. Check us out on Spotify. We do have the YouTube. But I think we're on Apple Music now too, and Amazon. So we're in the podcasts in there. I think we're also iHeartRadio, which all that goes through and is tied into Spotify. But we're on as many platforms. We put ourselves out there, audio and video, so we can get the message out. Get your message out. If you guys are doing something neat in your classroom, please let us know. We'd love to have you on, because as Eric always says, we always say we're only as strong as our members, and our members are great. So that helps us out. We'd like to promote what you guys are doing. We also have some offers for people that listen. We have the official sponsors for PAECT that we thank all the time. But Soundtrap for Education, they have given us a code that we use because we're presenting at PEAT. We were accepted at ISTE. We've presented at the Keystone KTI Summit. We have a code that we could share, gives you 90 days of premium. And there's Missy. Happy New Year to our amazing sponsors. Yes, definitely. Soundtrap has given us a code we could share with you. So you get 90 days premium, get your student's license. They've helped us out tremendously on the pod. They'll be presenting at Pete and C on Monday. They won't be able to attend our session. I was kind of hoping we could kind of do a tag team session, but they won't be there for Tuesday. But, they'll be there Monday, and they've worked with us. They're fantastic too.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff happening. So, we always appreciate, having people, interacting with us as they're watching on the different socials, and just trying to bring you what we're using in our classrooms and with tech notes and just sharing about PAECT. So we truly appreciate the opportunity. All right, man. Well, it's the first Tuesday of the month, and we're hitting that magic time. Got a lot covered, and I think it's time we wrap things up.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we didn't have a lot to talk about, but it still took us the hour. That's what happens when you put 2 Italians in the bag. Although I probably would have been done sooner if I could have seen my hands while I was talking.
I thought that kept you talking less, so helped out a little bit. Yeah, that's how you mute an Italian, tie their hands behind their back. All right, well, thank you so much for watching and listening live, and those of you listening on a next day, we truly appreciate it. So remember,
PAECT,
we are
the voice of EdTech in Pennsylvania
and
beyond.
Let's thank our sponsors.
PAECT would like to thank all of our sponsors. Venture sponsor, EduSpire, corporate council members, ClassLink, GoGuardian, ClearTouch, and our gold sponsors, Sam Labs, Howard Technology Solutions, and Teachers First. We at PAECT truly appreciate all of your support. Once again, thank you.